What is up, guys? Welcome to today's video. In this video, we will be reviewing Invincible Season 3, Episode 7, entitled What Have I Done? And that is a great title for this episode because I was literally sitting there just like,
What? What the fuck?
And wondering,
Are you serious?
this Invincible War, like coming from somebody that never read the comics. I keep letting you all know that I never read the comics. But yes, I just ordered the omnibuses, like all three of them. I gotta read them now. I have to. It's a must now. I need to see what all the differences are. But watching this insane episode that seemed slightly longer than the normal episodes that we get week to week, I was just sitting there like shocked at the amount of carnage that these marks were wreaking. Like, if Mark really wanted to, and mind you, this Mark is stronger than all of his variants, all of his doppelgangers, he could legitimately rule the world, which is what Viltrumites are meant to do when they come to these different planets. We've heard that time and time again. But guys, before we jump further into that, feel free to like this video, share it around for your friends, and subscribe if you're not subscribed. Make sure you hit that alert bell so you never miss another one of my videos. I have a lot of content coming out, a lot of stuff that I'm excited about. So yeah. But guys, you know how I am with these reviews. I don't go in a linear fashion. I just talk about what was interesting to me. And what was really interesting to me is the fact that I was under the assumption that this was a different Angstrom Levy. I thought that this was a different guy, but no. He had the technicians, some surgeons. He had them on standby in another dimension to rebuild him after Mark brutally mutilated, obliterated, whatever you want to call it. I don't know how he dragged himself in there. I don't know how his brain and mind was still intact, because Cuz's face looked like Negan looked like Lucille, like Negan took Lucille to it. You know, it's Italian for later on in the episode with Conquest. But it looked like he like Mark really went to town on Cuz, like in a blind rage. And, you know, rightfully so, he attacked his family. But yeah, in a blind rage. And we find out that Langstrom, whatever his name is, nutcase, we find out that he is so deeply unhinged that he recruited a lot of different Invincibles from throughout the entire multiverse. Even the one Sinister Invincible, the one that's wearing like the black and yellow with the cape, Sinister Invincible, the one that killed his son in front of him, including him. You're that unhinged that you recruit all these evil marks to basically attack the world that the one good Mark lives on. Like, you're that crazy. And might I say, Sterling K. Brown is doing a phenomenal job voicing this character. Like, they wreaked so much havoc. Mark was not prepared. Nobody was really prepared. We see a lot of different heroes going head to head with these different marks. We see the Brit deploying a lot of teams, the Honk, a lot of different heroes. I want to reference my notes because I took a lot of these heroes' names down. We see like the Immortal and Duplicate and Shapesmith. They're getting beat up by that. Like, first of all, the Invincible that they were going against, oh my god, like, he's deeply messed up. Like, it's so sadistic. Like, he was making fun of the way Shapesmith was dying. Like, come on, like, why? Like, you're that sadistic, like, you're that twisted, bro. Like, that is insane. Mohawk Invincible. First of all, Steven Yeun, the way you gave each of these different Invincibles their own personalities, hats off to you. You're an Oscar-winning actor. I understand it now why you were cast as Mark Grayson. You made all these different marks different. Dog, my hats off to you. You killed that, because they literally felt like different people. All these different marks were like nuts. Like two of them, like the one that was we can assume that he was dating William on his world, and the other one that didn't really want to kill his mom, like he really missed his mom. Cowl Invincible, Hood Invincible, whatever you want to call them. Omni Invincible, the way he just snapped Eve's leg like that and then slammed her into the ground and said, "I've always hated you." Like, dog. Oh my god. We also see Oliver out there trying to help and do a lot of good. I'm so proud of Oliver in this moment. Oliver stepped up this episode, had to find his brother. He had a run-in with one, He had a run-in with one of the variants, but he handled it well. And I'll say that he was out there helping all the other heroes. Let's talk about the prison, because even Mark get a call for Invincible Inc. They get a call that the prison is under attack. And who is it? It's Mohawk Invincible, Movincible. That's what I'm gonna call him, Movincible. And he's there going to town. But who else is there? Powerplex. And we all know how unhinged and nuts that guy is. Guys, Powerplex is just like, he's like, oh yeah, this is all your fault. This is all your fault. We get to the scene towards the end of the episode where he's like just literally trying to go to town on Invincible. Like, bro, you're here to help for cleanup. They let you out to help people, and then you just start going for Mark. Yes, Mark feels guilty for this because it's not his fault, but at the same time, versions of him did this, so it is in his wheelhouse to be able to do this. But Powerplex, you already know it's not his fault. You killed your family. You killed your family trying to get back at him. That's not his fault. Mark already feels bad enough. We had a Spider-Man No More moment with him when he didn't want to even leave Eve's side. He didn't want to suit up and get back out there. But I mean, Oliver was out there fighting. The Brit was out there fighting. Robot, Rudy, Monster Girl, they all got hurt. Rex died. Like, Rex legitimately blew himself up to take out one of the evil Marks. Like, legitimately. And playing that Billie Eilish song at that moment, that broke me. Like, I was not ready, guys. I was legitimately not ready. We get to see Wolfman in this episode. From what I understand, in that moment, that was Spawn in the comics. I did not know Spawn was a part of this universe, but I mean, Image Comics, they do a lot of cool things. And I understand some stuff you have to have the rights for, so they had to replace him in that moment. We see Wolfman, we see Cast Iron, we see Best Tiger, and we see Tech Jacket in this episode as well. Remember, these take place over 3 days. This Invincible War was going for 3 days straight. The entire world is in ruins. We see some of the Invincibles just like, floating over the carnage and destruction. I feel bad for certain cities that didn't even rebuild yet. Chicago, like, bro, like, you're destroying what's already been destroyed. Like, that's insane. But they are Viltrumites. We even saw a Flaxen version of Invincible. We saw one that was held prisoner in a Viltrumite prison that was experimented on. Like, come on, guys, it was a lot of carnage in this episode, but this episode was amazing. Another key moment that I thoroughly enjoyed was seeing that Rex and Ray were indeed moving into their own place. They got out of the life, but then they hear the first explosion. And at that moment, I knew when Rex says, "I'll be right back, I love you," I knew he wasn't making it back without even having read the source material. I knew Rex was not, going to make it back. And it sucks because Rex just had a near-death experience last season. We just got him back, and y'all kill him off. But he went out in a blaze of glory. Like, he saved everybody. He saved his team. Black Samson, he survived, and Shapesmith survived. But that one version of Mark was tearing through all the gates and separated the Immortal's head from his body. We also get to see when the Immortal was initially fighting him, we get to see that the Mummy character, that's always a running gag. I understand that he's an original for the show, and he's a misogynist. So he was trying to possess that one Mark, but Mark got away. And when the ladies were leaving, well, yeah, like, we know he doesn't like women. He only wants to possess men. So that's always a fun running gag that's been going on since like season 1. That's always fun to see, guys. This episode was amazing. Like, we saw Best Tiger. Like, at first I thought there was a variant of Mark, but then I learned that he's kind of like Daredevil and the Punisher in one. So that's really cool to see. Yeah, we saw a lot of heroes that basically initially auditioned to be in the Guardians in season 1. Like the heroes that initially mistook Mark for one of his evil variants. Thor, I think his name was I don't know what his name is right off the bat, but I know the other two was Bolt and Knockout, but we've seen them in season 2. I think that my notes kind of auto-corrected on that. So yeah, let me know what that hero's name was, but I know the other ones were Bolt and Knockout. I know that for sure. We also get to see Donald get in on the action, along with the other Reaniman. If it was not for the Reaniman and Cecil doing what he did in that moment, Mark and Eve would have been killed. So that's also great to see. Cecil has his back. I think Mark's coming around. He even Mark to, you know, run the Guardians of the Globe, but Mark's like, no. And then at the end, we get to see him come face to face with Conquest, voiced by Jeffrey Dean Morgan. The Brit was also voiced by Jonathan Banks. So yeah, we have a lot of big actors that are showing up this season, and it's great to see. This show is just loved by so many. And guys, I give this episode a 10 out of 10. I had no issues with it. And for all the weirdos that are complaining about Jeffrey Dean Morgan's voice, shut up. Like, it worked. It worked for me. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it was a Glenn and Negan moment that we have not seen since The Walking Dead. So guys, like I've said, like this video, share it around for your friends. If you enjoyed this episode of Invincible, please tune in next week, because I am sure we are in for an amazing season finale. Guys, season 4 is already greenlit, so yeah, like, we're getting more Invincible. This episode was great. I thoroughly enjoyed the Invincible War, and I hope you all did too. Let me know down below in the comment section what you thought about it, and I will get back to you all next.